Is TBISE the best in sports entertainment? I want to welcome everybody to the show who's here today. Let's get right into this, man. Let's jump into this. So we have speculation. I don't know. I don't want to say speculation, but we look at the Myles Garrett trade. Myles Garrett been traded from the Cleveland Browns to the LA Rams. You know, this was a high profile trade. This is probably one of the best players in the NFL. You know, possibly the number one player on defense in the NFL. I don't know. I'm not saying it is, but he's up there. But you have someone like him who's been traded to the Rams. This leads me to believe, as a Philadelphia Eagles fan, that the Eagles could be in a run to land someone like Max Crosby. Why I believe that this can happen. You know, the Raiders had opportunity to trade Max Crosby, but the trade fell through. They tried to trade Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens. Max Crosby is a hell of a player. Max Crosby is someone, you know, he's a high value player in the NFL, probably the best player at his position. Last season, he had 45 solo tackles, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. You bring him back to the Raiders team after you try to trade him. Do you think he will be disgruntled? And we know that NFL teams, they are valuing the locker room. Max Crosby, is he happy about them trying to trade him? Probably not. I know he thought he was a Baltimore Raven at one point, but he's not, and he's back with the Raiders because I believe the Ravens backed out of the trade for whatever reason. A lot of speculation about him not being healthy or so forth and so whatever it is. But this is Max Crosby. This is a superstar, a high talent player. I would love to have him on the Philadelphia Eagles. I can see the Eagles making a play and pairing him with, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Jonathan Greener, all these young players that the Eagles have. And you bring somebody like him in, not saying, I don't know, we probably have to give up, probably some first round picks, I don't know. But you bring somebody like Max Crosby in to the Philadelphia Eagles. Vic Fangio and Clint Hurt would love to have him on their defense. Clint Hurt been the defensive line coaching. We know Vic Fangio is the defensive coordinator who's a mastermind. You bring him here on this Philadelphia Eagles team, along with all the other pieces the Eagles have. I ain't get to the secondary. Our secondary is stacked. We have a very, very good young team on defense. We have won our division, for the last few years. You bring in Max Crosby. I would love to see him on the Philadelphia Eagles. I would love to see him in the Philadelphia Eagles uniform. Why wouldn't this trade happen? You see, Myles Garrett left. Max Crosby can easily be a Philadelphia Eagle right now. And I'm pretty sure Howie's making calls, as I'm pretty sure Howie may have made the call for Myles Garrett. I'm pretty sure he did. But it didn't go through, but we still have opportunity to get Max Crosby over here in Philadelphia. Max Crosby can go down Old City and enjoy himself and find some of these tattoo parlors and get himself more tattoos. If that's what he wants to do with himself, he can, great city for him and his family. So I would love to see Max Crosby in the Philadelphia Eagles uniform paired with that defensive line and those other players like Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is working on getting himself in the best shape possible. So I would love to see what happens with this Eagles team going forward if they're able to pull it off. And if anyone can do it, I would say that Howie will be the guy, in my opinion. Howie is the guy to make this happen. Howie is the guy who can get Max Crosby to Philadelphia. So let's see what we can do going forward. Next topic. Let's get to this next topic. New England Patriots. Was online last night. I saw some things online. There's a lot of mixed emotions, a lot of negative emotions about the Eagles trading A.J. Brown to the Patriots. The fans aren't really too enthused about him being in the Patriots uniform because of the fact that it matters. Let's get to it. 4 NFL seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 championship, 4 playoff appearances, and I believe 2 Pro Bowls. 2, I believe. Double check that. But you want to leave an organization that you had so much success with because of a rift between you and another player, whatever it may be, or something that you dislike. But you had so much success that you're willing to leave an organization to go play somewhere else. Is it really that bad? You could not fix this issue. And now we bring you into a locker room. Drake May, young quarterback. They have a very young team. Made the Super Bowl last year. Didn't came up short. But you want to bring A.J. Brown into this fold with his drama that he has going on with him, and you bring him to this team, and you say, hey, we can change him. Not saying they can't. Vrabel is a good head coach. I believe he coached him in Tennessee as well. I believe there's some type of connection there, I believe. But you get A.J. Brown to the Patriots, and then the fans are not liking this. A lot of fans are saying no, because you understand the Patriots this is not their normal doings. They normally don't move in this manner. They normally move in a manner whereas though they get players, who are having, I'll say high caliber players who may have had a down season. They bring them into their their system and see them prosper. But A.J. Brown, I believe he's a $40 million price tag. Is he worth $40 million to pair him with Drake May? Drake May already made it to the Super Bowl with the receivers he had. Diggs and those guys who were over there playing. He had some good receivers over there, and they made it to the Super Bowl. They didn't win, but they made it to the Super Bowl. Now, is A.J. Brown going to push them over the hump? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. But my concern, along with the concern of the fans of the Patriots, is that A.J. Brown may come into the locker room and be disgruntled. What happens when he's not getting the football thrown his way? What happens if he's not able to make plays and things of that nature? What happens with this? What happens? Does he get mad at Drake May, their franchise quarterback, as he did with Jalen Hurts? I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but there was something there that, like I said, could we have resolved this? Could the coaches have stepped in? Could the owners have stepped in and resolved this issue between the quarterback and the wide receiver? In Vrabel, you're bringing a wide receiver in there, somebody you're familiar with, and someone that you know, and you bring him here with your young quarterback. As we know, your quarterback is fragile. If the quarterback is leading the team the right way, doesn't have any distractions off field or in the locker room, you may get the best production from your quarterback. But you bring A.J. Brown in, what is he going to do if he's not getting the football? I don't know. So for me, I look at this as a bittersweet. I mean, A.J. Brown, for me, being a Philadelphia Eagles fan, A.J. Brown did do some wonderful things here in Philadelphia. He assisted us in winning a Super Bowl. He was professional off the field, on the field. He had his issues, but I want to commend him for what he did for the Philadelphia Eagles, man. He came in and he played from day one. Day one, he brought something to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a grimy, gritty city. He came here and he played. And, it's bittersweet. Do I want to see him go? No. But if I had to choose between A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts, I would choose my quarterback, especially someone who's playing at that level every time. So I wish A.J. Brown the best, but we'll see what happens going forward. There's been speculation now that Myles Garrett has been traded to the Cleveland Browns been traded from the Cleveland Browns to the L.A. Rams. There's been speculation that Aaron Donald may be thinking about coming out of retirement. Aaron Donald, stats, career, 10 seasons, 337 tackles, 111 sacks, 24 forced fumbles. He has never recorded an interception in an NFL game, but he's been very, very effective, a Hall of Famer, probably the best to ever play his position. Some people may say 154 games played. You bring Aaron Donald back with Myles Garrett. For me, looking at this Myles Garrett addition for the Rams, this ultimately pushed them into Super Bowl contenders. They always were Super Bowl contenders because they do have a good quarterback, a great quarterback. They have a great wide receiver. They have a great offensive line. They have some good pieces. They have a good defense as well. But now you bring Aaron Donald back, if possible. I'm not saying he's going to do it. He's been away from the game, I believe, for 2 years. And you bring in Myles Garrett. This is very tempting for Aaron Donald to want to come back and play. How many times in your life do you get a person or a player like Myles Garrett to play with in the same defensive scheme? This is very tempting to anyone. So I don't know. Aaron Donald, he's been away from the game. He's living life. He's traveling, doing things with his family and his children. Does he want to be, back on the NFL roster? If he's going to do it, I believe that this will be the time to do it. They have opportunity to win the Super Bowl, have opportunity to do things, that will be an amazing story for Aaron Donald and his family and the Rams organization. They pulled, the cards to make this happen. They just, went all in, not on duty, and got Myles Garrett to be a LA Ram. So, man, this is very tempting to get someone like Aaron Donald back. But I want to see Aaron Donald come back and play with them. I know from a fan standpoint, yeah. But for an Eagles fan, someone who's in the same conference, do I want to see Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett on the other side of the football going up against the Eagles offense? Nah, not really. No, I don't. But it'll be good for the league to see Aaron Donald come back. Aaron Donald is a real professional, so I'll look forward to seeing him come back, and we'll see what happens there. It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Clothing, cars, whatever you're selling, you have a great idea. You want to put it on our platform. Contact TBISE. Call us now, 267-982-0342. TBISE, the best in sports entertainment.
Everybody back to TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live in Empowerment USA. TNS Media Group is the team and the family. You already know what we do here. We talk about sports and entertainment. NBA Finals begin tonight. The Victor Wembanyama Finals era begins tonight. Game 1 in San Antonio. People are talking about this series, and for me, looking at this series, I think Wemby's going to dominate the Knicks. Sorry, Jada and Joe. Sorry to everybody out there and all the Knicks fans, but you guys aren't beating the Spurs. Unfortunately, you guys aren't going to beat the Spurs, man. It's not going to happen. I believe, and I'm not saying it because I'm a Sixers fan and I'm just gruntled because you guys you guys knocked us off. No, dude, you guys, got rid of us. You guys swept us, 4-0. No, I'm not mad about that. I'm just calling it how I see it. This is the Victor Wembanyama show. This is the Wemby show. This is, his series to lose. Now, you guys do have Jalen Brunson and all these, you have Hart, Cat, you have some good pieces over there, and Anunoby. You guys got some good pieces. Not on duty. You have some good players, I should say. But you have this uphill battle. First of all, you got to go and got to win one of these games in San Antonio. You have to win one of these games in San Antonio. The Knicks need game 1 more than the Spurs need game 1. Let's keep it a bean. If they lose both of these games, which I believe they are, going to lose both games in San Antonio and probably win game 3 in New York. But if they lose both of these games in San Antonio, it's a clear sign that the series is over. They need to win game 1 more than the Spurs need to win game 1. If that makes any sense. And they probably saying both of them need to win. No. The reason why I say this, I can't say because the Spurs are a better team. In my opinion, are a better team. And you have players on both rosters, who have never experienced this, the spotlight. Of course, that they play at the highest level, but no one. I know we have some players on the Knicks team that made, Anunoby, he won with the Raptors, and you see other players who have been to the finals that are on the actual Knicks team. And then you have Matt Barnes from the Spurs who won a championship. But the Knicks need this game. They need this game. They need to win game 1. They need to win game 1. If they win game 1, I will give them 2 games. They still won't lose the series, but I'll give them 2 games. But if they lose game 1 and game 2, they're going to possibly only win 1 game or even get swept. They are not going to be able to match up with these guys. Wemby is going to dominate. So, in my opinion, I just think that, and then I think Cat. Let's keep it real. Cat is flopping, all around the court, making these faces, parading his hands in the air. Like, come on, man, you 7 foot tall, man. Why are you flopping, bro? Why do you flop so much? Why do you just complain so much? Like, you two, like, and then you shoot, you make the 3. I don't want to stay on Cat too much, but you make the three, but you're allowing a jump shot too much. When you gonna play down low? You 7 foot, man. I'm pretty sure the Knicks fans felt this way. Of course, is you have Jalen Brunson, who's a MVP caliber player who was kind of carried the team, but Cat, you could play a lot better, man. You stop flopping and flailing all around. All players flopping. I just even Brunson be flopping too, but Brunson plays a little more aggressive than Cat. So if Cat is not aggressive and Cat doesn't come to play, they're gonna lose the series. They need this game one. They need to have a big night from Cat, but he's not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do it, in my opinion. Sorry, New York. Sorry to the New York Knicks fans, but it's not gonna happen. Cat, stop flopping, stop flailing, stop doing all this stuff. Come to play tonight. Come to play. I want to see you, play in the post, put some pressure on Wemby, and then you guys can probably win the game. But other than that, it's not going to happen. So I just don't see it happen. I just don't really think that he's going to be able to, make up for his mishaps that he's been having all season. I just think that's just who he is. He's a jump shooter. He's a flopper. He's a good player. He's a good player. Give him that. But he flops too much, shoots too many threes, and when he need to be down low, putting pressure and on the perimeter, making shots, so forth and so on. So, but the Knicks, they need this game more than the actual Spurs do. Let's keep it real. They need this game more than the Spurs. Next topic. Let's get to the switch over. Go to some boxing. Oh, I want to just sorry, before I go to the boxing, Muhammad Ali. It's been 10 years since he's passed away. Muhammad Ali has been an icon. He's been someone who's, carried the torch, for not only his religious beliefs, but for the African-American community. Muhammad Ali has been, someone who a lot of these athletes look up to because of his heart, his grit, the things that he did for the community, the things he did for cities throughout the United States and countries and so forth and so on. Muhammad Ali has been someone that a lot of people look up to. He has a lot of good qualities. He's someone who carried the torch, who took a lot of the beating for us to be where we are in sports today. So shout out to Muhammad Ali and his family. Muhammad Ali, rahimahullah. So let's get to some boxing, man. TBISE, the best of sports entertainment. Let's get to some boxing, man. We had a good fight this week. We had O'Shea Foster versus Raymond Ford. O'Shea was, I believe, 25-3, 12 KOs. Raymond Ford was 18-2, 8 KOs. This was a good fight, man. This was a really, really good fight. Raymond Ford, shout out to Raymond Ford, Coach Rell, and those guys, everybody down there. But Foster, man, after winning this fight, he called out the likes of Shakur Stevenson. You know that Raymond Ford is friends with Shakur, and they train together. I speak to my guy, Coach Rell, about this previously about, Ford and Shakur Stevenson being really close. And O'Shea Foster, he believes that he has opportunity to get in the ring with Shakur Stevenson at some point. Me personally, I think he probably needs to pump his brakes a little bit. It's the weight class difference, but he does have the skills. He does believe in his skills. He believes in himself. Shakur Stevenson is a whole different animal as far as boxing pedigree, defense, skills, you name it. I don't think that you should, step in the ring with Shakur right now, or even try to right now. But it's your world, man. You're a champ. You retained your belt. You won by decision. But you got to pump your brakes. Then you even speaking about getting in the ring with Tank. These are probably two. You got Tank and Shakur, probably the best 1 and 2. However you want to say it. Shakur 1, Tank 2, or Tank 1 and Shakur 2. Excuse me, however you want to say it. But ultimately, these are the two top fighters in boxing. So, Foster, you did do great against Cool Boy Steph. I didn't expect that. You kind of you made that fight with Cool Boy look very, very easy. But Shakur, different level. And then you fight Raymond Ford. It was a close fight as well. It was really close. So I think one of the judges had it as a draw. But then you want to go into fighting Shakur Stevenson. I think you should just pump your brakes a little bit. Not saying you can't get in the ring with Shakur because you have skills. But Shakur and Tank, but then again, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you because it's about testing yourself. So I respect that. I gotta say, I respect that. My opinion about who would win the fight doesn't really matter, but I gotta respect you for wanting to get in the ring with these guys because a lot of people say they want to fight, but they really don't want to fight. I don't know if this is you because I hear this a lot, but people, I don't want to fight Shakur, I want to fight Tank, but then they don't really pan out. But if that's what you want to do, more power to you, man. But I just think that, you have a bright future. You're a champ. You won. You beat two really good fighters. You beat Cool Boy, Stephen Fulton. You beat Raymond Ford. These are two good fighters you beat back to back. So I got to give you your flowers, man. Shout out to you, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Now let's go to the next topic, man. TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. Something that I just came across, my feed or whatever. Caleb Williams makes Madden 27 cover. Caleb Williams, he said this was a childhood dream of his to make the Madden cover. His 90 overall rating on this game. He said he received a call from Madden and was like, it's my childhood dream that came true. Last season, he passed for 3,942 yards, 27 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions with a 58.2 QBR. Everyone saw Caleb Williams perform in the playoffs. He performed well. They didn't make the Super Bowl, but he performed really, really good. So his stock has risen. And I'm assuming this is why he made the Madden cover, because his stock has risen. He showed that in his second year that he's actually a really good quarterback. I know we look at the fingernail painting and whatever he has going on, and that this guy has showed that he is a good quarterback. He has his own mind. He goes out to play. He didn't seem scared. He wanted to play in a big moment, and he showed last season. So shout out to him for making the Madden cover. Hopefully he has a good season as he did last year. I'm a little upset they did beat the Eagles last season. They beat us, but we'll see what happens this year. But the Eagles, I'm sorry, Caleb Williams making Madden cover. That's that's a big deal. It's a big deal. We're Madden 27, so I don't know when they actually started putting live athletes on the cover. I got to double check that to see when they actually put live athletes. But if it's Madden, Madden been around since the 90s, man. I think Madden first came out in the 90s, so it's been about almost 30 seasons, or close to 30 seasons of Madden football. So we don't know how many players, but even if it is 30 players that grace the cover or so, or 20 plus players that have been on the Madden cover every year. So I'm over the years. But shout out to you, Caleb Williams, for making the Madden cover, man. It's TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We out of here.